Hey everyone, this is Asher here from Revenue Journey. In this video, I want to talk about a particular workflow or playbook or process that I've been doing pretty much across all of the different Clay tables I've built before, just to save on Clay credits or any sort of row runs. So again, if you use Clay for a long time, you will know that for every sort of row that you run, whether is it you're using your own API keys or you're using credits within Clay, it costs something at the end of the day, right? So how can we limit the amount of runs, or how can we limit the amount of repeated steps that we have to do? So I'm just going to run through an example over here, and I think it will be great for everyone to sort of learn this, because I learned this in my first few days with Clay Bootcamp, so shout out to Nathan and his team. Now, in this particular case, we are running this particular playbook or workflow for a client where it is an open jobs playbook, right? What we are trying to do is to listen for jobs in a few cities. And once we have that, what we then want to do is to make sure we check whether that company fits a certain criteria. If it fits a certain criteria, then we go ahead to find maybe the person in charge of this role. We want to reach out to them or do a few different actions. But what happens is that when you try to do find jobs within Clay in itself, what will start to happen is that yes, you have many different jobs, but at the same time, the company domain will be repeated, because it's not unusual for a company to hire for multiple roles, right? So you end up with a situation like this. You've got company ABC that's hiring for 2 roles, and if you don't have some processes in it, you end up just running Clay enrichment for every single role. So you may do a company enrichment first to check if the company fits certain criteria, and you do the same one even though it's a different role, but it's still the same company. And sometimes a company may have more than 2 roles, right? It could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you don't want to keep doing that. So what is the best way to deal with this kind of situation? Well, in this case, what you want to do is, before you run any sort of enrichment, first do a writing to another table. Write all of this, especially if you're doing it for the first time, write all of this information into another table. Once you're another table, that's where you do a deduplication. You want to make sure that in this next table, you have company domains that are unique, that is not repeated. So in this case, it does seem like I have some duplicate rows, so I'll just cancel them. Great. So now you see the situation. Now we have a table that has just company information, and we have a table with jobs information, but yet with the company domain. So once you have the set of the first company table, what you can then start to do is, before you add another new company or another new row into the other table, so just do a quick lookup and check if the company already exists. If the company already exists, great, we don't have to write it again. So now, instead of enriching for each row column, you are pretty much just enriching one time for a company. And that just saves you credits, right? So I've been, again, finding myself doing this over and over again. So I think if you're just trying to save on Clay credits, trying to make sure that you run it efficiently, this is probably the best way to do it.